choosing your next purchase. Now, every time that we buy a golf club, it's a big thing, right? They're expensive, and we want to make sure we're getting it right. Now, a lot of us, and I'm guilty of this, will put far too much attention on sort of driver, got to be the most expensive one, got to be this one, got to go for a fitting, maybe then putter, but we don't think about the rest of our bag. This is the next golf club I think you should be buying. I'm not saying brand, I'm talking about loft. So as we go through our bag, there are only 14 spots to choose from, right? And depending whether we have a 3 or 4 wedge system, that top end of the bag round driver is sometimes hard to get right. I'm going to tell you today why you should be binning off 3-wood, yes, you heard me right, binning off 3-wood and thinking about 5-wood. These are my top 3 reasons you need to listen to these before you purchase your next club. This club is so valuable, you don't even realise. Let's get into today's video. So our fairway woods make up a large proportion of our game. We use them from the tee, we use them from the fairway. So making the right decision here is absolutely, well, let's put it this way. Game changing in the fact that you're going to hit it more greens, you're going to hit better quality shots, and well, that's what we want. So looking at my bag right now, I have a 4 wedge system. So therefore my availability at the top end of my bag is hard. So making this decision, there's 14 of the clubs that I know I'm going to have, I have to get this right. Bin off your 3-wood, I'm saying it again. Now, what was the last club that you bought? Was it driver? Was it an iron? What was it? Let's see in those comments who bought, well, the most recently, but also what club was it that you bought? Now, the first point on my list is length. Now, a 3-wood is quite a lot longer than a 5-wood. Therefore, if you think about this logically, what is easier to control? A 7-iron or a driver? Well, we both know the answer to that question, the shorter club. So yes, you will sacrifice a few yards, but if we were really looking for distance with this club, well, surely you just hit driver? So that little bit of a shorter shaft, for me, gives you extra control from the tee, meaning, well, for most of us, we're probably going to find the centre of that face a little bit more often. So finding the centre of that face a little bit more often, with a little bit of a shorter shaft, is easier to control. Well, we're going to tend to probably hit it where we want it more often. So this is point number 1. It's a little bit shorter, and therefore, a little bit easier to control. Wow. Shot tracer there, nothing else has to be said. That was meant to be a really smooth walk off, but head cover on. And as I said, it's not about the brand, it's about the loft. Let's get down the fairway. So some of you might be saying right now, well, Alex, I have both. I already have a 5-wood and I have a 3-wood. Now, if you have that, you're probably sacrificing some of your wedges at the bottom end of your bag. Now, I always think that that's a bit of a dilemma. If you want to increase your wedges and then you don't know whether you should carry 3-wood or should I carry 5-wood, well, this is going to help you determine the reason. Number 2 is why you should get rid of that 3-wood, more options with the wedges, and a bit more of a forgiving club to hit from the fairway. Because if we think about it this way, we use this club a lot more than we think. So point number 2 is having just that little bit more loft from the fairway. Take lies like this. Then the fairway butts that down a little bit. We would probably be quite limited with actually being able to, well, hit 3-wood, if we're perfectly honest. Now, having a lie like this and a little bit more loft for a club golfer is so key, because most 3-woods are around 14.5 degrees. when you put them down on the ground, on the fairway, like this, it sometimes looks back at our brain and goes, whew, not a lot of loft, not a deep face. We get that urge to a little bit scoopy, maybe leaving us susceptible to topping and fatting. Never, never, never enjoyable shots. So most 5-woods are around 17.5 degrees, just that little bit more. Looking a little bit more inviting as you put it down, a little bit more loft and a bit of a deeper face. This is going to allow you just to launch it a little bit higher without having that urge to want to scoop it up into the air. We don't want that at all when we're hitting fairway woods. We want something that looks inviting and with a little bit more loft. So with shorter shaft, a little bit more loft, you can start to see why this is becoming a much better option for us. So take this analogy. Most of us at club golfer level, clubhead speed is something that we struggle with, and that's fine. We know that's part of our game. So having something with a little bit more loft, a little bit of a higher launch, will tend to actually help us carry it a little bit further when hitting it off the deck. Think of your long irons, and sometimes they roughly go the same distance as, like, say, a 7-iron, because you launch a 7-iron a bit higher. Well, 3-wood to 5-wood, a little bit more loft, bit of an easier, more inviting face, starting to hit a little bit higher with a higher launch, much better for our game. That's point number 2. So what is our final point? Point number 3. So if we've now got a club that we realise, right, it's a little bit shorter, with a little bit more loft, we're finding the centre of the face a little bit more often, we're launching it a little bit higher, we're going to have a ball that's landing a little bit steeper on its angle of descent. Now, most of us use our 3-woods, or hopefully now a 5-wood, on par 5s, but mostly probably on long par 4s to try and hit that green in 2. So imagine having a ball that's landing a little bit steeper, landing a little bit softer. You're going to be able to hold the greens just that little bit better, even with your longer clubs. Now, how much better is that for our game? We need that, we want that, and that is my final reason of having a ball that's going to be landing a little bit softer when we're hitting this club from distance and hoping to hit the green. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's all about this being the next club you should buy. Thanks guys, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow around the same time.